All right, we'll begin with pre-submitted questions. The first one comes from Mustafa at Esports GG. You started off last year issuing what can be seen as an ego statement to all LCS top laners. After what was a relatively shaky start, you cemented yourself and your name in the league. What do you attribute this incredibly fast development to?
I think mainly it's talking to a lot of really smart people around me. So a lot of the coaches at C9, a lot of the players at C9. Specifically, I talked a lot to Max Waldo and Vega V2. I also talked to LS, Nemesis, and I think they're all really smart people and they helped me a lot, like improving the way I think about the game. And I think that was my main, the main factor in my improvement.
Nick Geraci from Invin Global asks, how do you think King performed in his first LCS match?
I think Calvin actually played pretty well. I think the reason why we lost was mainly just like mechanical mistakes from everyone because our comp is generally pretty like mechanical intensive and we sort of misplayed a lot of fights. We fought in pretty bad positions a lot of the time. And I think Calvin played like how he was supposed to. I don't think that like, I would definitely not say that he was like a reason why we lost at all. I think he played pretty fine in lane. I don't think he like carried or anything. I don't think he like played fully either.
Justin Amin from Esports Network asks, what are your thoughts on Lee Sin in lane Sin, as some would say, becoming a meta pick now?
I enjoy it a lot. I think Lee Sin is like probably like one of the, I wouldn't say he's like the most fun I've had playing a champion, but I'm pretty happy that all the top lane champions right now are generally like not tanks because I was playing a lot of Scion usually in Spring Split, and I'm happy playing a lot of like different like mechanically intensive champions, and they like show a lot of your skill as a player. So I'm pretty happy that Lee Sin is one of those champions in the meta right now.
Nick Ray from Upcomer asks, who's the best Gwen player in the LCS right now, in your opinion?
It's probably either me or Perks because we've been playing in scrims and it looks extremely broken. And I haven't versed anyone that's like shown me that Gwen is that good either.
I see. Well, that's the end of the pre-submitted questions. Now we're going to open the room up to a live Q&A. If you have a question, please use the raise hand reaction. Shay Robson from Gamezo.
As Travis Gafford just pointed out on Twitter, I believe he's in here. You know, sometimes it can be hard for teams to come back from MSI. You know, how's your adjustment being, and how's the adjustment of putting King into the squad? How long have you had to actually practice with him?
Yeah, so we only started scrimming 3 days before we play, so it was pretty hard adjusting, I guess, because generally there's going to be a lot of there's going to be a lot of unresting going into like the split on your first couple of days of streaming. So I do think that we do need to like keep playing a lot of scrims so that we can go back to like our original level, because I think that right now, like not even like talking about ADC role, I think that we're all like somewhat like at least I feel like I'm a little bit worse than or less comfortable with the meta as well. Specifically the meta, because I think the Gwen and Viego being put straight into the meta is like makes it a little bit awkward, and I guess I don't really understand all the matchups too well as I like did in Spring Split. So I think adjusting to like all the new meta changes and also just not scrimming for a while, you sort of just lose some of like the communication and what you were doing in the past. So we still need a little bit of time to improve that, but I think that generally we've improved throughout like the 3 days that we're streaming. We showed like gradual improvement throughout the games.
Next question from Andrew at Dexerto.
Hey Fudge, on more of a personal level, I guess, how's it been like reuniting with King back onto the Cloud9 roster? Because you guys are obviously teammates on C9 Acad and Mammoth. You guys go really way far back, so has it been good playing alongside him again?
Yeah, it's really fun playing with Calvin as well. I mean, obviously he's like a really like funny guy generally to be around, so I'm pretty happy that he's like gets his chance to play in LCS and he's like gets to prove himself. So I think, I mean, it's almost like nostalgic playing with him, because it's like he still talks in very similar ways. He still like sort of like in review, he still says the same kind of stuff. So it's kind of interesting to play with the same person, like, but like 2 years later almost. So yeah, I enjoy it.
Do we have any other questions for Fudge? Going once. Andrew, a follow-up.
Yeah, I may as well just follow up on the game as a whole. So Golden Guardians, you guys came in as the overwhelming favorites, and now you're obviously adjusting back from MSI. Has there been any like pointers that you guys are already looking into, or are you guys going to just follow the VODs and look into the rest of the weekend?
Yeah, we're probably just going to go back and VOD review and figure out why we lost. I think generally we made like pretty bad decisions in mid game around like when to fight and where to fight. So we sort of need to make sure that we don't make the same mistakes against the better teams, 100 and TL, who I think are obviously better teams to me. So we don't lose to them in the same way that we lost to Golden Guardians.
Any other questions for Fudge? All right. Oh, Andrew, go ahead.
I'll go for one more. So on an individual level, how are you feeling about your play after MSI and getting another chance on the international stage?
I think individually, I'm pretty confident that the other top laners in NA don't really like punish me as they did in spring. I think right now it's probably just going to be me, Alfari, and maybe Huni at the top of like in terms of like the leaderboards and of who's the best top laner. But you can almost like really feel like the difference in skill between like the international players and like playing at home. So I'm pretty confident playing going into the split and playing against all the other top laners.
All right. As there doesn't seem to be any more questions, Fudge, you're free to go. Thank you for your time.
All right, thank you.